All right, welcome back to our Tips for Tuesdays. This is our second installment of the series of press. A press is a press is a press. So the previous episode was push-ups. So we went over a lot of faults and corrections in regards to how to do a push-up. And we want to start with a push-up because that carries over to the next series of exercises we're going to show you. So we're actually going to go through 4 different pressing exercises and show you some common faults and some corrections and kind of the technique that we're looking for in all pressing movements. All right, and you'll see a common theme. The common theme is going to be that the forearm is going to be vertical to the floor. All right, so the first thing that we want to talk about is we have Coach Leah here, and she's going to demonstrate our 4 exercises for us today. And we wanted to show that as she stands here, every human has what we call a natural carrying angle. And that's just when you stand and your arms are down at your sides. Almost all folks are going to have their arms slightly internally rotated. So this is Leah's natural carrying angle. This is just how she hangs with her arms and hangs every day, right? So when she does this right here, the common question I get in here is, well, when we do dumbbell overhead pressing, is what position should my arms or shoulders be in? Should I be all the way out? Should I be all the way in? Somewhere in between? And the answer is this for us. With your natural carrying angle, okay, this is the natural position for your shoulder, your glenohumeral joint to be in, the most stable position. All right, so what we ask them to do is just simply from here, bend their elbows. So go ahead and bend your elbows up, okay, and she's in this position here, and it's about a 45-degree angle. So she's not all the way out. No, you can stay here. She's not all the way turned out, actually rotated, and she's not all the way in. So she's somewhere in between. This is her natural, if you can see arms down at the side again. Her shoulders don't move, she just bends her elbows, right? And then from that position, she would do her overhead press with the dumbbells, okay? So we're going to take her from here. You can go ahead and relax and have a seat on the bench. No, yeah, facing the doors is cool. Okay, so she's going to grab her dumbbells for us out in front. And she's going to go ahead and just put them up to her shoulders. And you can see she just bent her elbows. Simply, that's her natural carrying angle, so she's going to be slightly turned out. All right, so the main thing we want to talk about here is the position of the forearm. You can see it's vertical to the floor, and she's going to go ahead and go straight up overhead. And we like the arms nice and in line with the ears, so a nice vertical arm all the way through the floor. So her wrist, elbow are locked, and her shoulders are stacked. So the weight is over the center midline of the body. Okay, and then just bring it back down. All right, so we'll do one more press. Hold on before you go. So yeah, but that was good that she did that because as she came up, right, we're right here at that 90-degree angle, still vertical, and then she goes back and right up overhead again. Okay, so go ahead and do it. Good, and then back down. Okay, all right, so we can go ahead and set the dumbbells down. So that's a dumbbell overhead press, and what we like to do in terms of programming is we like to start people off with a good dose of dumbbell overhead pressing. Creates unilateral strength, so what it does is it exploits asymmetries. So if your right arm or your left arm is stronger than the other, a dumbbell overhead press will exploit that, and then we know that we need to work on that one particular side. Also, it increases or recruits more muscle fibers in terms of shoulder stability. So it's a great exercise for overall strength and stability, and it shows us the mobility of the shoulder. So we're not going to ask people that have poor mobility issues to take a fixed barbell and go overhead until they get the range of motion, strength, and stability with the dumbbells. Okay. Now from the dumbbells, we're just going to show you a press here, so a horizontal press. So she's going to go ahead and lay on the bench. So this is we do closed grip bench press in here mainly. For the power lifters that are in here, they're definitely going to go into a wider grip. But mostly we're going to go with the closed grip bench press. We just feel it's a safer position for the shoulders to be in, and most pressing activities are going to be with the hands closer in towards the body, with the exception of the jerk, the push jerk and split jerk. All right, so Leah's going to go ahead and grab the bar. All right, and she's going to go into the press position. All right, and then good. So when she goes down now, she's going to come all the way down, bring the bar to her chest, and you can see that theme that we're talking about here with the forearm vertical to the floor. And then she's going to press straight up. So it's just a straight movement. If you can see the path of the barbell is just a vertical path up and down. There's no forward and backwards movement. Okay, so do 2 more reps for us. Good, nice and slow. You can see that vertical forearm. Okay, and then go ahead and rack it up. All right. We're not going to talk about the positioning of the torso and the feet and the legs and all that stuff. We're going to say that's a whole nother soapbox to get into in regards to powerlifting. We'll let Coach Leah take that topic someday. But for today's purposes, we just wanted to talk about the positioning mainly of the shoulders. All right. Okay, so from here now, we're going to go ahead and take the bar, and we're going to do a shoulder press, so a strict shoulder press. So she's going to come around the back of the cage. Okay, and she's going to go ahead and grab the bar into our front rack position. All right, and then what we want to do here is bring the elbows in like that. So again, here's our theme, right? We got the forearms vertical to the floor. What we'll see a lot of folks do is get into that front squat, front rack position with the elbows high. All right, that's not going to be a good support of the barbell from transitioning from the rack position to overhead. Great position for the front rack and the catch and the clean. All right, but in regards to getting a barbell overhead, we want to be here because the bar or the forearms have to support the weight of the bar, and it's just a vertical pass straight up. The only difference between the main difference between the barbell and the dumbbells is that her head has to be cleared from the dumbbell or the barbell. So she's going to just push her head back slightly, and then barbell go straight path up overhead, right? And then we have the arms vertical to the floor. It was a straight path of the barbell, and then the barbell is over the center midline of the body. She's going to bring it back down into the rack position, and then return her forearms into that vertical position. So she's going to do 2 more reps for us. Good. And then let's do 1 more and keep it overhead. I want to show one thing. Okay, and then the main thing we want to also work on is making sure that you're hollowed out here, you're keeping your core tight. We don't want to see a flaring out of the rib cage like that and a hyperextension of the lumbar spine. All right, so we want to keep this nice and tight and tucked in. Okay, go ahead and bring that back down and then walk back and rack it up. Good. All right. One thing to note is that in previous episodes, we did touch on thoracic mobility, shoulder mobility work, and then also, so those are a couple things that we'll do before we have people do these movements overhead, and then we'll also have them do a good dose of the crossover symmetry work as well too to kind of warm up the scapular stabilizers. All right, the last thing we're going to go over is we're going to come over here and do the dip. Coach Joe's going to move the camera nice and steady and easy for us over, and she's going to get us in the frame here for the dip position. All right. And this doesn't change, again, in regards to our theme with the forearm. So Coach Lee is going to go ahead and hop up. All right, she's got good extension of the elbows here. Another big thing here is that we don't see the trap shrug up. So she's got nice depression here of the shoulders, great scapular thoracic work here. She's going to go down into the dip position, just hold for about 2 seconds, and we see a nice vertical position of the forearm. Go ahead, press up. Okay, good, and step out. Okay. All right. We're going to do a couple more reps of that, but I don't want her to hang out in that dip position for too long. All right. But I want you to note a couple things, right? Number 1, making sure that she doesn't have elevation of the shoulders when she's in the extended position of the elbows. And then when she goes down, that her forearm does maintain a vertical position of the floor. And same thing when she goes down, we don't see the shoulders. All right. So we're going to have Coach Lee go ahead and jump back up into that dip position. Again, we're noting those pieces that we don't see a shoulder shrug here. And as she goes down, she maintains vertical position of the elbows and the forearm and then presses back up. She's going to do 1 more. Again, watch the shoulders and the elbow. Okay, go ahead and jump down. All right, so that's our series of 5 presses really. And again, that started with the push-up last week, and then we added 4 additional press movements. And you see a common theme going on here that we're talking about in regards to technique, making sure that we have good positioning of the shoulders. All right, we like happy, safe, healthy shoulders. That's kind of the main thing in here. There's going to be pulling movements that we're going to go over next time. We're going to cover, you'll see the kind of the same positioning of the hands and the shoulders. We're going to talk about scapular activity and that kind of stuff when we get to pulling movements. All right, but that's our press series. Stay tuned for next week's episode. We'll catch you then.